Welcome to Needing and Meeting. My name is Carol. I'll be your host today. Hi, everybody in the chat. I see, hello, CK. Hi, Ben. Hi, Henny. Hi, Rolling Stone. Hi, Plant Freak. Hi, Megan. Hi, everyone in the chat. Wishing you luck and laughter, adventure in your new year. Carol, Happy New Year. Your compassion and honesty is a lovely lesson for a fulfilling life. Thank you for creating such a safe and friendly place to come and meet new friends and family. Thank you, Henny. I appreciate that. This is my first New Year's Eve in recovery, and you're staying home, Megan. Yeah, probably a wise thing to do, out of temptation's way. Eventually, you'll be able to go out and celebrate, and hopefully with some sober people. There's getting to be more and more of us all the time. I know I won't be drinking tonight or even again or ever again, thanks to all of you. We used to call this amateur night. Oh, my Lanta. That's so good. And did I see that you had gone to your first meeting, Rolling Stone? Hello, Lord Kiss Freak, Chris. Hi, Tammy C. Happy New Year, you guys. This is amazing. Amazing to have you all. Let me drop a link in the chat here. Hi, Noise Opera. Hi, Pup Groomer. Good to see y'all. So good to see you. All right, there's a link. If anybody wants to pop in. I thought I would read from a book that I hadn't read from in a while, Sober on a Drunk Planet by Sean Alexander. And waiting for pizza to come. Good deal. Hi, Noise Opera. Rolling Stone, me too. We're here together. Yeah, how'd your day go? But did I see though that you had gone to a meeting, Rolling Stone? Am I way out of left field here? Love to hear all about it. Hey, Christy.
Hey, how
How
are
are
ya?
you?
I'm good. Happy New Year's Eve to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
Can you believe it?
cool.
The very last day of 2023.
Oh my gosh, hasn't it been crazy?
Yeah.
It's just been a year. I mean, it's really been a year. I'm kind of I'm kind of ready to see, what next year has. Like, we'll
Pokemon
see.
Day with Wee Man, Stasia.
Nice.
Probably timed out.
Nice.
Miss my
I'm just
kid and my little granddaughter. Oh, yeah.
that's tough.
I
Let's
don't
see. I'm
know.
getting a texture.
I don't know why there's a thing that says drag to move. It's weird. Okay. Why? Okay, that must be a new little feature there, turning the volume up and down. All right, so I want to read from this book, Sober on a Drunk Planet, because there's some little gems in here.
Nice.
Iced coffee better than I thought it would be. You know why, Ben? They cold brew it. They let it steep in cold water for a 24-hour period, and you just get, and it just extracts all the coffee out in a different way. It makes a concentrate if they do it right.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Ben, you are seeing smoke, but it is
Henny,
from my hot tea. Coming from my coffee
did go
cup.
to an A meeting and it was pretty good. Well, good. Yeah. It's you're always bound to hear something that's useful there, at least from one person. And if it's one thing, that's one more thing that you get to style, stow in your memory banks there.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm. It all accumulates,
Mhm.
everything that kind of reinforces that why it's good to not drink, because while it's good, it can really suck.
Mhm. Mhm.
So Homer Simpson probably isn't the first person you'd turn to for mental health advice, but there's a lot of wisdom in the well-used quote, to alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems. Alcohol doesn't fix mental health problems. It's not even particularly an effective crutch. Any relief it provides is short term at best. When you stop drinking, you begin to recognize the insanity of using alcohol to ease you through the awkward first 30 minutes of a social event. For some, the price of that is doing something foolish and spending the next week regretting it. And of course, you may regret certain things for years. I'm still ashamed of falling through the champagne tower at my friend's engagement party. Sorry, Amy and Matt. However, each night ends, you generally get an incredibly poor trade off for 30 minutes of taking the edge off. Alcohol never helps with mental health problems, it adds to them. And once again, science backs that up. Alcohol is a strange substance. It initially acts as a stimulant, causing your brain to release dopamine, the happy hormone, via Healthline. It increases your heart rate, boosts your energy levels, and lowers your inhibitions. But alcohol is, first and foremost, a depressant. It also binds to your gamma aminobutyric acid, GABA receptors, which it has a sedation effect. At its core, alcohol is a downer drug. It also inhibits glutamate, messing with your brain, nerve, and memory function and that's via the addiction center. Then, in another cruel twist of irony, it reduces your release of all that cheery dopamine when consumed in larger doses. Boy, isn't that the truth?
Mhm.
It's that cruel thing of it feels good and you want to just keep downing it, but then it gets to a point of diminishing returns. The more you
Mhm.
down, the worse the effects.
Mhm. Mhm.
And in the meantime, you got probably that dopamine hit is still going somewhere, telling you this is great, this is great, this is great, but it's
Yeah.
not so great.
Right. Right.
What stuck with me the most was living in the moment, not worrying about tomorrow, especially yesterday. Yeah. Another cruel twist of irony, it reduces your release of all that cheery dopamine when consumed in larger doses. That right there is why so many people start the night upbeat but end up with a sad head or angry head. I remember those. Looking around, seeing them, you through my own angry head, sad head.
Right. Right.
The chemical tailspin continues after you stop drinking. While you're consuming alcohol, your body begins to release cortisol, known as the stress hormone. Buddy T 2020. Your cortisol levels continue to spike for some time. Those who drink a lot need to wait for a week until the cortisol levels normalize. That's Loria 2017. Cortisol comes from the adrenal glands and is the thing that makes people edgy, jumpy, and panicky. When the depressive, sedating effects of alcohol begin to wear off, the cortisol really goes to town. This often manifests itself when you wake up with a start at 4 p.m., heart thudding after a night of drinking, with a mouth drier than the Sahara Desert. The cortisol continues its assault in the days after a session, playing a large part in the hangxiety. Cortisol is widely known as nature's built-in alarm system, WebMD 2020. Is it any wonder that flooding your brain with it causes you to jump at your own shadow? To add insult to injury, while cortisol is battering your mental health, it's doing bad stuff to your physical health too. An excess of cortisol causes the body to release insulin, and the extra energy ends up stored as fat. It also joins in with the alcohol and making you crave junk food. And it's not done with you yet. Excess cortisol makes it harder for the body to build muscle. And if you do exercise while it's flooding around you, your muscles will be more tense and susceptible to injury. It makes recovery harder too. The really scary part is how long the cortisol effect can last. You know what? I feel like it lasted like a long time. I think the stress of the
Yeah.
mental illness, even after I quit drinking, kept
Mhm.
that cortisol, you know,
Yeah.
doing, excreting, whatever it does. And it really, I didn't know if I would ever be the same when I quit drinking. But you do get to where you feel like a person again.
Yeah. I just want to say, a Rolling Stone, she says, I have 2 weeks sober today.
That's
Yay.
amazing.
The dark circles under my eyes are fading. The ugly pouches are shrinking. I am almost ready for prime time.
Yeah, you are with the tiara. 2 weeks is
Yeah.
awesome, Rolling Stone. Thank you
Yes.
for sharing that with us. That's
Yes.
amazing.
That is
That's
amazing.
amazing. It
Yeah.
gets better from here. Not that there won't be hard moments, but it does get better. It always
Right.
gets better. Hi,
Right.
Zelda.
Yes. Hi, Zelda. Hi. Hi. I am the noise opera. Henny. I think I've seen Tammy pop on. Lord Kiss Freak, Ben. I think we've said hi to everybody. All right. Um, yeah, well, and as women, cortisol really does a number on our bodies. I don't know what it does to men necessarily, but I know as women, it really is difficult on your body.
Carol, you and this group Rolling Stone says, this group got me across the line. Tommy got me off the hard crap, and you got me off the worst. Well, I'm so thankful. That is
You
so good.
know,
Thank you for sharing that.
yes, we're just so
Much.
glad that
Yes.
you're here. And,
Yeah.
what an exciting way to start the new year,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
that's exciting. You should journal about it. Journal about the how you feel right now and how proud you are and what
Mhm.
you're seeing. And that way, if you have those moments where you're like, oh, you can go back to this day,
Yeah.
maybe put a little sticky tab or a paper clippy or something like that so that you can remember how it felt right now and these beautiful things that you're saying. I
And
think
what
it'll
an amazing way to start the new year, Rolling Stone.
Yes, right?
I'm so
Right?
happy for you. I'm so happy
Yeah,
for you.
good job. That's
Mhm.
amazing.
It
That is
is. It
amazing.
is. Those first 2 weeks are brutal. You did this. You did
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
You know? You showed up here,
Hmm.
but you did this. You did it, and that's awesome. The really scary part is how long the cortisol effect can last. If levels of your key stress hormone can go haywire for a whole week after drinking, your mental health doesn't stand a chance.
Hmm.
If you drink regularly, even weekly, the cycle of damage begins again before your brain has repaired itself from the previous assault. There's no surprise that alcohol is so often linked to depression and anxiety. It's an actual depressant, and it overloads your brain with a hormone that literally causes anxiety. That makes quite a mockery of the whole taking the edge off theory, doesn't it? Booze fogs up your brain. I The fog took a long time for me to wear off. I think that there were other factors, not
Hmm.
just booze, the combination of drugs that I had done that
Hmm.
really, that I had to start using booze and weed to take the edge off of. And I hated weed before that. I hated it. I did not like the way it made me feel one bit until I
Hmm.
took a bad combination of drugs that just it 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 felt like it did permanent damage, and maybe it did, but I did recover,
Hmm.
but I don't think that if I would have gone back out there, I would have been able to survive it. I think I got that point loud and clear, and I got that point in AA meetings, you know.
Nice.
And I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that, that my son doesn't have to wonder, you know, who his mom was.
Mm-hmm.
And if he'd know who I was, I don't know if he would have known who his biological dad is. They haven't met yet, but as long as they're both alive, there's still hope.
Yeah. Oh,
I want
yeah.
my brain back, period. And you will get it.
Mm-hmm.
You will. You may have to adapt around some changes, but you
Mm-hmm.
can do that.
Yeah.
You can do it. A study of recovered alcoholics showed cognitive and mental abilities returning to those who quit drinking, becoming indistinguishable from non-alcoholics of some ages. There was a small exception around spatial orientation. Recovering alcoholics may always be a little worse at reading maps and assembling flat pack furniture.
Well, I'm not good at reading the maps.
Oh, I skipped this part here. After booze fogs up your brain, messes with your memory, and makes you far less able to deal with the inevitable challenges that life throws at you. Thankfully, as with the physical side of things, you can repair the damage by quitting.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps the most rewarding mental health upgrade from quitting alcohol is learning to cope with life's complications without chemical assistance.
Mm-hmm.
While it sucks more, it is better.
Yes.
If it weren't, I wouldn't be 29 years and 2 months shy of 30 in.
Yeah.
You
But
know, there is
Lord
some
Kisser,
reward to it, or people wouldn't stick with it.
yeah. Lord Kiss Freak had a question and Plant Freak had a question. Lord Kiss
Okay.
Freak wants to know, would you say that if you make it to the 2 week mark, the worst is over? And then Plant Freak wanted to know, can cortisol spike even when trying the hardest to lower and release it? Asking for the week of court.
Okay. First question. It depends on the level of drinking that you were doing, and if you mixed other things in with it, because I did mix other things in with it, including mental health problems. I'm going to say it took me about a month
Mm,
for things to start leveling off, for the fog to clear, for my brain function to even be to the point that I could read the big book, you know. And
Oh, oh,
yeah,
okay.
but like I said, I did other things. It wasn't
Right,
just booze at play there. There was some already mental health challenges, you
right,
know.
right.
And I had a breakdown that probably released like so much cortisol, it's insane.
Yeah.
And then I just, spent the next 2 years just pounding everything into me that I could. So there's a real good chance that you've gotten through the worst of it at 2 weeks. Real good chance. How are you feeling now? That's your gauge. How you're feeling today is your gauge on, every day that you're waking up clean, your body, the body's amazing at recovery,
Oh,
as
yeah.
is the brain, you
Mhm,
know?
mhm,
Um, Read some good things, some informative educational things, because that's these are carving pathways in the brain that
mhm.
get you to a healthy brain function area. That did a lot for me. Reading the big book. At the time, I was even reading the Bible, and that was a good thing for me at the time. A really good thing. And I know a lot about the Bible. It's good to know.
Right.
It's not a book I have to be afraid of, and I know
Mhm.
that. I think that that's something, being raised in the Bible Belt. I think that was an important part of my recovery. I honestly do.
Yeah.
And so, question, can cortisol spike even when trying the hardest to lower and release it? That I don't know. That's something that probably a neuroscience expert would be better at answering. That's something that we can probably Google or WebMD or something.
I know cortisol is the stress hormone, and so if you're looking to lower it and your body's just naturally stressed out, it's probably going to be higher. That's where maybe some of the box breathing and meditations and things like that would come in. But I can definitely Google and see because I've got my computer up here if there's something here.
I don't,
Um,
Rolling Stone, you don't feel quite right yet, but then you never did. LOL. Well, you're probably not going to be the same. But it doesn't mean that it has to be bad. Like I said, there's likely to be bad moments, but the overall is not going to be bad. It's just going to be different, more than likely. But like I said, the body and the brain are amazing at recovery, especially if you're feeding nutritious things. I wasn't eating healthy when I was in rehab. They were just putting starch on every portion of the plate, and not the good kinds. And that's what I was eating for the first 6 months of my recovery. I think if I'd been able to get hold of healthier foods, I think that would have been huge. A lot of good greens in there, fruits and vegetables. Starches are good too. I mean, your body's used to having starches if it's used to drinking. So, and some people like taper off of alcohol with sugar. Like, so maybe the fruits are a good way to go with that. And then also, I'm much calmer, but my bipolar adrenaline is spiking. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so
Your body doesn't know what's happening right now. And your brain doesn't know what's happening right now. It was hunkered down to deal with those alcoholic storms, because it's a whole cycle of storm. You crave the drink, you get the drink, you drink the drink, you drink more of the drink, and then you wake up with the effects of it, and on the cycle goes. So your body is just kind of not knowing what's happening right now. And the brain's going, what, huh, what? I'm guessing that's how mine was anyway.
Well, and if you're dealing with a mental illness on top of it,
Yeah.
then it's really gotta, I mean, depending on whether you've got medication or not, that's got to kick in. You've got to get the alcohol out. So yeah, I can see how that would be stressful. Real quick on the cortisol thing, it said that it's a body's normal response to stress. So there's nothing wrong with the cortisol spike. It said after you have a stressful situation, try really hard to get back to a calmer state by breathing, meditation, relaxing, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, I don't see anything about how long it lasts, though. Oh, hold on. Cortisol levels peaking 30 to 45 minutes after waking in the morning in some people. It does say vitamin D helps with it also, but I don't see how long it says it lasts. But just doing the box breathing and meditation and trying to be positive and
Yeah.
think of
Whatever
anything to
gets
relax.
you calm gets your
Yeah,
adrenal glands calm.
yeah. And
Mhm.
that's all I could find. I wish I had more of an answer, but
Pup Groomer says, when I was 16, I went through all of my detox on my own with a toxic mother berating me the whole time. Wow. Wow, Pup Groomer. A probation officer who was trying to figure out the situation. Mental health took a couple of months. Okay. That tracks. That tracks.
That's not
And
bad.
a friend wants to quit drinking, and all info helps. What was your question, Chris?
His question was about the 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, is that the worst of it? His question was that one.
Like I said, it depends on how they were drinking, the level that they got to in their addiction. You know, there's a few factors there. Um, like I said, I probably would have recovered better if I had been able to exercise. Exercise also helps with stress, you
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah.
and even if it's just a walk, you
Hmm.
know,
Hmm. And it
and
doesn't have to be a lot of exercise. They
no,
say even like
a
under
little bit
30 minutes.
is amazing. Yeah,
25. I don't know if you've seen this. Rolling Stone said, I'm much calmer. My bipolar adrenaline is spiking. Going to see a doctor in 2 weeks.
yeah, I did see that
That's
one.
that's good. That's good.
That's right. If you're wigged or exposed to, okay, let's see. I assume this is talking about cortisol. If you're wigged or exposed to a lot of toxins that it can trigger a cortisol dump. I got
Mhm.
it with mold exposure, for instance. That makes sense. Yeah, environmental factors.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There are really helpful books, Rolling Stone, that will give you ideas to help you on your journey to healing. If I'd been focusing on healing, but I wasn't in a state to do that when I was in
Mhm.
rehab, when I was first getting sober. It was just
Yeah.
hold on,
Yeah.
you know? So if you're
Mhm.
past the hold on, if you're starting to feel yourself not having that hold on so much, you're through the worst of it.
Yeah. Well, and that's true. I mean, it's kind of like being in the storm. You don't go out and try to clean up from the tornado when the tornado's going on. You wait
Yeah.
until the tornado's done. And so I would imagine that recovery is the same. You've got to kind of get through that part, and then you can bust out your journal and start journaling and look back and try to see,
Hell,
you know,
journal in the storm with a play by
yeah,
play.
yeah, yeah. Well, and then you can see what it is you need to work on healing, but don't try not. I want to encourage you not to get ahead of yourself. Get through these things first, get things in line, set yourself up for success, you know?
Zelda, 4 months for me off opioids on January 2nd. A tiara in anticipation of January 2nd. Brain is good, but still no energy. Yeah, nutrition, you know, things that keep you centered.
Mm-hmm.
All of that will kind of help your body normalize and find how to store and use its energy more effectively. I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a healthcare professional, but that's been my experience.
Mm-hmm.
Cortisol is really good, but it's just the imbalance you don't need.
Mm-hmm.
Cortisol, for instance, helps reduce blood pressure. Okay, I did not know that. 4 months is awesome, says Rolling Stone to Zelda. If I can get
Okay.
I try to do this with my thumb, and it always tells me block somebody. No, we're not blocking anybody. 4 months is awesome. Too much
Yes.
of a good thing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
bends, but yeah, too much of a good thing. It gets really bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Henny says, Rolling Stone, glad you're seeing your doctor soon. The library will offer many books to choose from.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm really behind on the chat, you guys. Sorry about that. I either never knew either that here it comes. Never knew that either how long it takes to reduce the levels.
Mm-hmm.
It might depend on some factors. Oh, yeah, that'd be a good thing to look into. What can help, you know, level off cortisol levels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've been doing 20-minute walks. It helps a lot. I get super anxious when I miss them. That makes sense. Makes total
Yeah.
sense. And the external part Pup Groomer 20 says external situation plays a part as well. It does.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what. Love the tiara, Carol. Zelda, that was my mom's 95th birthday tiara. It was her very last birthday. We did it up royally. The crappy quality of sleep while drinking has to be a big factor in all this too. You're right, Chris. Makes sense because you don't sleep well on a drunk. It
Mhm.
it can knock you out. You're not getting rest because your body's processing this stuff that it wasn't
Mhm.
built to process. You
Yeah.
know, muscle tone. Pup Groomer 20. My ex lost a lot of muscle tone when he was on opiates. Yeah. Doctors kept telling him that that was a risk, but then he got lost in it.
Mm.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
yeah. Plant freak. Somatic exercises have helped me with cortisol levels. Okay. I don't know what that is. Somatic. SOMTIC. I posted a video in the okay, good, in the Facebook group before. Let me know if y'all want a repost. Very good. Okay, I'll go. About how long ago was that, Stasia? My friend works at a remote mine site and says she sleeps way better when at work and obviously not drinking. Interesting.
Excuse me.
Huh. I wonder if that's because, they're not drinking.
Mm.
If that's why they are sleeping better. About a week or two, maybe. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, anything else good in here? Let's see. Perhaps the most rewarding mental health grade from quitting alcohol is learning to cope with life's complications without chemical assistance. For example, newly sober people quickly realize that almost everybody is nervous at the start of a party or work event,
Mhm.
right?
Yes. Yes. Yep.
It's not necessarily easy, but with time you realize that you relax and notice your inhibitions fall away after a short while anyway,
Mhm.
without chemical help. Just think about young children at a birthday party. They often cling to their parents at the start or stay at the edges of the room. By the end, they're tearing around the place and don't want to go home. That's a great
True.
example. That's not because and it's because they're drinking alcohol. It all adds up to another one of those virtuous cycles. Over time, you come to learn that you manage just fine without the crutch. That boosts your self esteem, making you manage even better the next time. Every time you don't drink in a situation where you were prone to drinking, boosts your confidence. Every single time. How much does a coffee cup weigh?
You know, I was thinking if we ever did any merch, we'd have to have big coffee cups that were like the size of my head. You know, we couldn't have those little ones.
I'm lucky. Rolling Stone, Lord Kiss Freak, I'm lucky. My sleep is always pretty good. That is good. And despite all the booze, weed, and cigarettes and coffee, not to mention being overweight for a long time, my blood pressure is excellent. Excellent.
Good. That's
Yeah,
good.
excellent. You may also immediately remove drunken misdemeanors and the hangovers. There's a lot to be said for the radical clarity you gain when you stop drinking. You cease having to ask yourself whether you were too loud, too argumentative, or too over the top. You become able to own your choices and decisions, knowing it was you that made them, not the booze. And
Uh-huh.
that's powerful.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
powerful. As with all of the positive effects of giving up alcohol, this compounds over time. Good decisions and positive experiences breed more good decisions and positive experiences instead of bad breeding bad.
Mhm. Mhm.
Giving up drinking isn't necessarily a magic cure for your mental health. There may well be be anxiety, depression, and other conditions remaining within the real post-alcohol you. So yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
They could well have been why you started drinking too much to begin with. Certainly, I think that I know it was the case for me. But
Mhm.
at least you get a chance to know what you're dealing with.
Right. Yep.
Self-medicating your mental health with alcohol robs you of that chance. Yeah. It's like trying to drive a car without an engine. You're not going to get very far.
Mhm.
When you're sober and your mind, your body, and your gut are able to operate as they were designed to, you become much more in tune with yourself. And there's something to be said about gut health. Um, I recently had a Reuben that we made with plant based lunch meat and
Uh-huh.
kimchi
Uh-huh.
for
Yeah.
sauerkraut. Oh my gosh, that kimchi was like a magic bullet,
Yes. Yes.
helping me get my intestine kind of doing the right thing again.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was, and it wasn't that bad. I expected it to be nasty. But I mean, within a day or two, like my energy levels going
Right.
up, it was pretty
Mhm.
magical. And it was really enlightening as to how major gut health is to our brain health, our
Oh,
overall
yeah.
well-being. I mean, it's weird, but it's true.
Well, and I know for me now it's coming from a different place, but when I started eating healthier and feeling, just feeling better, I was like, "Oh, this is how my body's supposed to feel," and I found I didn't really struggle with some of the stuff that I did before.
Yeah,
And um so that just makes you feel better in general, just,
yeah,
knowing that you're on the right track.
yeah. Anik says, if I drink when I'm angry, I get angrier. I just get angrier. Not good. Not
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
Plant freak. OMG, yes. Being able to say, I have made it through and processed more sober is confidence booster. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anik says she becomes a cussing machine. I'm that anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Really like rein myself in to be on, a public platform.
I had to rein myself in so much.
Rolling Stone says, Alexander, I can definitely match you cuss for cuss. The gut brain connection is huge,
Mhm. Mhm.
says Anik. Yeah, yeah,
Hi,
uh,
CK.
yeah. Hey, CK. It's a vicious cycle, says Zelda.
Yeah.
Absolutely is. The gut is like a second brain. Who freaking knew? It
Mhm.
is. It's crazy.
Mhm. It really is. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm starting to really want to look into gut healthy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Well,
a
that's
believer of me.
when I really, and I mean, you guys can make fun of me about what I eat and everything. That's totally fine. It doesn't bother me at all. But when I really started eating like that, I mean, everybody did kind of poke at me a little bit, but you know what? I lost the extra weight I needed to in a healthy way. I started feeling better. My mind was clear, my creativity
Yeah,
was better. Like
yeah,
I just felt better in general.
yeah.
Um and I felt pretty good before. I mean, I've always exercised and, kind of tried to be healthy, but it made a huge difference.
And Neek, do please be easier on yourself, Zelda.
Hmm.
This is Pup Groomer 20. Thanks. Doctors told him to make sure he did simple contract, relax, because he was on pretty high doses for the pain. And he didn't, and pretty quick lost a lot of tone. They said it's common because don't have, I think I need to focus on my gut. It's hard to miss anyway. Yeah, it's a worthwhile endeavor. It is.
Mhm.
I mean, gut health is like a fountain of youth.
Mhm. Mhm.
I
Yes.
mean, I just found that out in a 2-day thing after kimchi.
Oh, I think the second half of Pup Groomer, she said we don't use our muscles the same when under opiates.
Okay. Where is it? Okay, we don't use our muscles the same. Yeah, when under opiates. That makes sense. Yeah, because that the opiates affect that. It's going directly to that muscle function for the
Mhm.
pain. Stone, how are you? Okay. Your intuition sharpens, and you finally get to learn about your baseline moods and levels of anxiety. You begin to learn which situations you struggle with and to acknowledge areas where you might benefit from some help. When drinking alcohol is the response every time you feel a bit off, you never truly know how to manage thoughts, feelings, and situations. You may be pleasantly surprised and find you're considerably more zen purely due to quitting alcohol. However, you may also feel you need some extra assistance. Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't like feeling my normal,
Oh.
you know,
Mhm.
and so I've had all these years to learn to live with my normal. Sometimes I still don't like my normal,
Mhm.
but it is what it is. There was a time when I was all adrenaline all the time.
Mhm.
And that's due to drinking and using drugs and my own mental
Mhm.
problems. Getting some counseling, coaching. However, you may also feel you need some extra assistance. Getting some counseling/coaching can be a great way to build your self-awareness and work further on that intuition. We look at that in a little more detail later in the book. Although there are no guarantees, many people do find that giving alcohol vastly improves their mental health. Another, it, and if nothing else, it lets you see where you actually are with your mental health. So
Yeah.
you know what to go to a healthcare professional with, you
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
and it may take some time to, know what is yourself, you know, and go from there. Maybe medication's required, maybe it isn't. Maybe, certain therapies are
Mhm.
are going to do the trick. One of the reasons we use, Zelda says, is because we don't like our normal. Yeah. We have to learn to love ourselves, which is the hardest thing to learn.
Right.
You know, and for a long time, I just thought, okay, I may not ever love myself, but I can learn to accept
Mhm.
myself, flaws and all, warts and all. And that's
Mhm.
where I started, is
Mhm.
from just going ahead and being, okay, this is me. So be
Do
it.
you find now that you love yourself more than you did?
I would say so. You know, when my brother did what he did, I kind of went back into that old thing of self-loathing,
Mhm.
that kind
Mhm.
of led me into the whole drugs and alcohol life. And I didn't like myself for a long time.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm starting to get back in touch with that self-acceptance. Okay, this is the normal now. Okay, okay, so be it. You know, I kind of had to start that process over, and it took a while.
Mm.
A traumatic event
Oh yeah.
is so damaging, especially
It,
when your everyday is like it has a certain level of normalcy, and then you get
mhm,
that out of the ordinary trauma event.
right.
It really does a number.
Yeah. It and especially if you think that you can't, you've worked past it and you've healed from it and it's not going to traumatize you again, and then something similar comes along, can really throw you for a loop.
Yeah, yeah.
You can really be like, wait a minute, I thought I worked through all of this. And
Well,
then
and
you
not
have to
only
go
that, I
back.
thought I was out of that.
Yeah.
I grew up. I got away from the abusive person,
Mhm.
and then the abusive person came back.
Right.
I came back to where the abusive person lived, and they came to my home and
Mhm.
abused,
Right.
because that's who they were.
Right.
I'm so glad I never started drinking and never smoked anything, cigarettes or weed. I never would have been able to quit. It is pretty tough
Mhm.
once that dependence kind of starts setting in. Care packages. I'm not normal, but that's okay. Exactly. It's okay with me. Exactly, Henny. CK. Care packages of blanket in from my dad at age 10 was bad enough. My brain was still forming. Yeah.
She's got another comment down there where she
Okay.
corrected that.
Okay. Okay. I meant to say packages of Vicodin from my dad at 8 to 10 was bad enough. My brain was still forming. He supplied me until he died. Other people supplied me too. Oh my God, CK. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Said age 10. Okay. A10 meaning age 10. Got it. We just love you the way you are, Henny, says
Mhm.
Anik and me. Oh, doing okay, Ben says. Tested high for a couple of cancer antigen tests. That has me concerned. Liver values are also thrashed. It's odd though, because my other values are all good. Well, Ben, here's a
Mhm.
one for that to get
Yeah.
figured out and sorted
Mm.
out.
Yeah. Sending you love. I can't type or I would put a one in there.
Yeah. Rolling Stone and I agree, says CK, I'm so sorry. That's so wrong. And I don't even know what to say. Some parents have a lot to answer for. Yeah. I just started, Henny says. I just started self acceptance, which means I'm on the way to self love. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
start from any other place. When something rears its ugly head that you don't like about yourself, it's like, well, what am I going to do?
Mhm.
Here I am.
Mhm.
Wherever you
Yeah.
are, there you are.
Well, and that's why asking questions like, do I know this to be true? How do I feel about this? Why? Why does this bother me? Why does this happen? And journaling about those things, or even just meditating and thinking on those things, are really helpful to help you wherever you're at, in that, because it really gives you a way to start looking a little deeper. I know that's what I have to do.
Henny, I think you're normal, but not boring. Agreed. Anik, to kind ML, I'm trying. Yes, much love, I'm trying. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Rolling Stone, thank you. She put up a one for me. I
What's
appreciate
that?
that. Rolling Stone said, Ben, here's the one from Christy. And I said, well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Henny, I think you're a wonderful person, says Rolling Stone. I heart you. And I do as well. And I think so. I think you're a wonderful person as well. I hope, says CK, I hope I said hi to everybody. If I missed someone, sorry, I'm sorry. Happy New Year to everybody. I'll basically be listening, maybe texting sometimes. Right on. Yep. Yeah. CK, I hope you have a wonderful evening, says a Rolling Stone. I'll be sending you good vibes and love.
Don't forget, I
Oh
love
my gosh, CK, I'm just catching up with the chat. Yeah, Neat. And that CK, you're a wonder and a miracle. My word. I can't even imagine such a thing.
um he was a heart surgeon and an alcoholic and drug addict. He would have a huge cup of tea full of vodka and orange juice every morning and go to heart surgery. Oh my goodness. I wanted to address this. Chris says, my friend is a single mom of 4 kids from 15 to 2 who has no family nearby, so no real support system, and living here in this small town with nothing to do. That's a huge reason why she drinks.
Do they have AA anywhere nearby? Has she checked into that? Because even some small towns have it.
Mm.
My friend is a single mom, 4 kids. Okay. Um, you know, she could go to smart recovery meetings online. They have them all at all hours of the day and night because it's people from all over the world that are doing them.
Yeah, and then of course here in the lifeboat, if she needs to feel some connective, support, um, that when you're a single mom of kids, that's a very difficult,
It
that
is.
can be so stressful. And
Yeah,
especially when you have, more than one child, when you've got four, that's that's a lot because I mean you're taking care of 5 people. Um, so um and maybe see if there's if she needs, I
yeah.
mean, I don't know if this, but maybe some resources just as far as like, is there any financial assistance she might need or, therapy, anything like that, maybe too. Maybe uh, there's more going on behind the scenes.
And Stasia Plant Freak says, Chris, I know I'm far, but if she wishes to reach out, please give her my Facebook info or I can send my cell number.
Yeah.
And if anybody needs to exchange numbers through me, my email is needingameetingrecovery@gmail.com. Thank you all. I think you're all wonderful with so much to give of yourselves. I'm so appreciative and I adore you with all my heart. Back at you, Henny.
Well, and Henny, can I just say you have started to open up so much with your story and share more about yourself and more about that. And I know that's got to be difficult at times, but we're so thankful that you feel safe to do that here and that you're starting your journey in that way as well, because our journeys have many different starting points, and sharing our story is,
Support is everything, Chris. Lord
yeah.
Kiss Freak. It's everything. Absolutely everything. Otherwise, you got all these things racing in your little fishbowl of a head,
Yeah.
and you need somebody to process it with, even if it's just listening to somebody else.
Hmm. Hmm.
I was a single mom with 1 kid, says Rolling Stone. She needs someone like you, Kiss Freak, and I'm glad you're there for her. Yeah, I am too. I don't know, Chris, why you can't see Stasia's comment. It's not, it's a little ways back. Um, I'll put it back up here if that helps. Well, you guys, the hour goes by fast. No wonder we were
It,
spending 2 and 3 hours before.
yeah, it really does.
It does make me up my game, bringing
Yeah,
what I need to
yeah,
bring, getting
right,
it in there. I only have so much time to deliver it.
right, right. Being prepared. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
um,
I was
Back then,
wanting to
people
highlight
turned
this
their
one.
heads.
Ben says, Lord Kiss Freak, I don't know how I got it in my wooden head. You were made up like Ace. That is clearly Gene. Indeed.
Got 9-1. Hello.
Back then, people turned their heads. Doctors were gods, and they still are sometimes. Yeah, CK says. Who knows how many people he killed? Oh my God, that's scary. That is so scary. Hi, Scott Nay. Welcome.
Yes,
Good to
hello,
see. Good
hello.
to see you. Glad you're here. And Zelda says, I feel bad that I haven't shared much of my long story with you all. Someday I'll come on and tell. I can't wait, Zelda.
I would
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. She doesn't drive, so I take her out to do her shopping and stuff. I listen to her vent all the time. Well, that's good. With 4 kids, I know she's got a lot to vent. Ah. Lord Kiss Freak, just don't get her pregnant. What? A Rolling Stone. Couldn't help myself. I shouldn't have put that up there. But that's okay, I guess. Support from Tommy Scoble. Yay. Thank you, Tommy.
yes.
I listen to the show fairly often. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yay. Well, what thanks, y'all? Are we ready to do some box breathing and meditations?
Yes, as long as my phone cooperates. When it gets cold and windy out here because of where I live, it sometimes will kind of come in and out with the internet. Yeah, let's do some box breathing and a meditation. And let's see. Did Penny have one more thing? I didn't want to cut off what she said.
Right on. Scott, that's from my actual wood stove. We built a nice hot air the other night. Remember, rule number 14 says, Ben. Oh, wait, 14 is never bet in pool against someone named after a city, but number 15, always be kind to yourself. Yes. And to Rolling Stone, Lord Kiss Freak says, it's not like that at all. And she got snipped when she had her last child. Okay, then.
I need a meditation. All right, well, you are fixing to get one. Yes, we'd love to hear your story too. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, I have a gas fireplace too. I love it. Keeps me warm out here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we'll do 3 of the box breathings. So you want to breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and then we're going to exhale until all of the air is completely out of our lungs, allowing our shoulders to drop. We're going to do that 3 times. As you breathe in, say something positive about yourself or the day. I mean, it could just be, I'm going to have a good day, or if you have a personal mantra, anything like that. And as you exhale, make sure to just kind of release any negativity, anything that's not serving you, anything like that. Like really try to kind of get that out of your system. And then we'll go into the meditation, which is just a short one. And then when we're done, I'll say whenever you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. All right, so go ahead and close your eyes. Get loose, shake it out a little bit, and drop into your heart space, whether that's putting your hand on your heart or imagining a small version of yourself going into a little room that represents your heart and soaking up all of the love that is in there. We're going to do 3 of the box breathings. So go ahead and breathe in, hold, and exhale. Making sure you're letting your shoulders drop. Again, breathe in, hold, and exhale. Already feeling your system calm down. And last one, breathe in, hold, and exhale. I want you to take a moment and imagine yourself standing on a beach. You're watching the sunset on this year that has just gone past, and you're starting to think of all of the beautiful things that you've experienced, all of the new connections that you've made, and all of the hope that you have found within yourself. As you start to smile, you look up and you see all of your loved ones off in the distance, and each and every one of us here. And you wave, and we invite you over to where we are. And as you walk, you're going to take 3 steps to get to us. And with each step, you release something that does not serve you any longer, something from this past year that you do not want to bring in to this next year. Step 1, step 2, and step 3. Feeling much lighter, you find yourself standing in our company. Each of us looks at you and welcomes you with open arms and a smile and gratitude. Take a moment to feel that gratitude being given to you by each and every person that you imagine being with. Feel the warmth of their smile, their warm, strong hugs, the laughters, the happiness in their voice to see you. Since we're standing at the ocean, as we're watching the sunset and seeing all the beautiful colors, each one of us looks around and we find a rock. And we pick up that rock. And as you look at that rock, you focus all of the things in your life that you don't want to bring with you. The things that hold you back and your fears. And you chuck it as far as you can or skip it across the water into the ocean until it sinks. Looking around, grabbing a hand of the person next to you. You give it a squeeze, and we all walk forward into the sunset of year that has gone on behind us, and the joy you experience, and the amazing new adventures that wait us, knowing that we are loved and accepted. We have this beautiful connection, smiling and laughing as we go into the new year. Take a moment to enjoy this joy and peace, calm, and confidence that you're giving to others and that you're receiving from them. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Yay!
Thanks, you guys.
Yes, thank you for being here. Happy New Year, everybody. And you guys take care of yourselves, and I will see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Christy.
You're welcome.
Well, you guys have a wonderful New Year's Eve. I have my Roku all set up, and YouTube has New Year's all around the world. And I've got my ginger ale that I'll drink, and also my sparkling non-alcoholic grape juice, my Welch's. I like to have celebratory drinks, and I got this new stuff called Toast, Tost. That's like apple and ginger and all these different things, and so yeah. And I'm just gonna spend the night in with a fire and some fireworks going on the TV set, and yeah, I look forward to hearing your story, Pup Kramer. Whenever you're ready to tell it, I can't wait. It sounds You have a lot to tell, I can. All right, you guys. Well, Happy New Year. I love you. And I'll see you next year. Huh? How about that? We made it through the year. And until next year, peace, y'all.